Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be across this beautiful blue-green globe of ours. Welcome to Real News Live. I'm your host, Mike Barra, in Las Vegas, Nevada, joined as I always am by the lovely lady with the lustrous hair, my co-host, Jennifer Doreen, in Hayden, Idaho. Jen, how are you on this wonderful Wednesday?
Doing good. It's kind of pretty. There's like snow flurries outside. It's not sticking, so that's good. I still have Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it's gonna be 78 here in Vegas today. All right, guys, this is a Tell the Truth Wednesday. That's when we normally, pick up on some things that we talked about on Monday, and we go with a few other things. So there's a few things that pissed me off here recently, and one of them was this, and I'm gonna play this video and. We're going to talk about, I don't think Jen's going to get too involved with this, but we may end up getting involved. Actually, now that I think about it, we will. So let's.
But it's, it just goes back to the fact that this, as much as I literally hate this, it's a freaking movie. I got this from a military contact this morning. Military contact said that 435 members of Congress, only 10 remain. The other 425 have either been detained, house arrest, or Gitmo. Everything we're seeing is CGI. Jim Jordan and Matt Gaetz are 2 of the 10 remaining. All American and Chinese warships make it look like we're about to go to war with each other. However, it's all to get you to focus there and not what's really going on in Israel. Israel's lease on their land expires October 31st. U.S. troops are taking out all of the bad governmental players. That's what's actually happening. But that's something we've not talked about. Israel, oh man, I'm going to catch some heat for this. Israel was never supposed to be a state. It's not a state. It never was in the Bible. It was in the Bible after 1913, and it was added by the Zealots when King Charles gave the land to the Rothschilds, and the Rothschilds created the land of Israel for profit and conflict. Palestine. Israel has always been in Palestine. Go back and look at older Bibles. Look at Bibles before the Zealots. The Zionists came in and rewrote it. That's all Palestine. And they had a lease on the land, and that lease expires at midnight on October 31st. And guess what happens when your lease expires? You get evicted. And I'm not talking about the good, true Jewish believing, practicing Jewish people in Israel. I'm talking about the Khazarian mafia, the Zionist dirtbag pretenders, the fake Jews that are leading our leadership in Israel. This is all a big distraction. And I was told on Friday that Trump was secretly voted in as Speaker of the House, and I called bullshit on it because that's illegal. It's unconstitutional. Right. But we're living in a movie. The U.S. corporation has been defunct since 2019, and nothing they have done on the other side is legal. So how do you fight fire? You fight fire with fire. So do something fucking illegal and put them in. But I think the real fireworks are about to start exploding.
Okay, I have 2 words to say about what you just heard. The first word is bull, and the second word is shit. Okay, now there may be some truth in there, but I am these are the clowns over at the Patriot News Network. Okay, I've been on Mark Z streams with Dallas before, and I'm so sick of all these fucking patriot redneck fuckers like him, Jew-hating motherfuckers like him, with their fat faces, with their beards to cover up their fucking double chin. Yeah, me too. And coming up with this bullshit. So let me again correct you, okay? That land belongs to the Hebrews. It always has. They were the first to settle it, and they have been there since time immemorial, about 6,500 BC, if not even sooner than that. There is no such place as Palestine. Syria Palestinia was invented by the Romans. Why? To suppress the rebellious Jewish people who would not accept their tyranny in the Holy Land. Around the year 0 AD, around the time of Jesus. And, by the way, maybe at some point here, when I'm done with my rant, we'll ask Jesus if that's correct, because I believe it to be correct. There's no such place as Palestine. There are no people named Palestinians. They're Arabs. They're Jordanians. They're Egyptians. They're Syrians. They're Saudis. They're all kinds of different Arab groups, but there's no Palestinian culture. It doesn't exist. So I am sick of this shit that they don't have a right to be there. They do. They have a right to be there, and they have a right to live in peace. And that's it for me. And I'm sick of these inbred Southern fucks coming up with this shit and trying to shove it down people's throats. So don't post that shit in my chat ever again, or I will ban you. Sorry, Jen. This is not aimed at you. This is solely aimed at Ben. Now, let Mike calm down a little bit. Let's ask a couple questions.
Okay. Good morning.
Nice people.
So,
first of all, is it true that Israel, the nation of Israel, and by the way, Palestine is a neighborhood. That would be like calling Auburn Hills in Michigan a country. It's not a country. It's a neighborhood. It's a region. It's like the Great Plains. That's all it is. It's not a country. So is it true that Israel does not really exist as a nation and it only has a lease on the land which expires October 31st? Is that true or not?
It's not.
Okay. The other part of it that I thought was, what was the part at the very beginning? I may not know everything. No, but I know a lot. The land in Jesus' time was called Judea, right? That's the bottom line. Now, what about this other stuff that China and Russia are going to get involved? Well, we'll wait for the Russia thing till after we do Phil. But what about this other thing that the United States is going to get involved with the war there? I mean, that's what you saw a while back in your Gentel, did you not?
What have I been saying for what is it, a year, 2 years? I've lost track. I know I've been doing the show for over 3. We were on the show one day and it hit me like a ton of bricks. And I said, Biden will be removed when he tries to start a world war. Okay. Yesterday, the Gentel was a remote viewing session, actually, and we saw things that told us that Netanyahu is a player and being told what to do, and then put back in his whatever cell that was, or white room. The scene that looked like a movie set down in either a dry lake bed or some kind of dugout crater that you had to walk up to the edge to see down into. It was not a military base. And then some bloody tentacle looking thing down in the tunnels that has been destroyed. At this point in time, it would make sense if we had some kind of, quote, scare event like that. And Putin decided to go into Israel. Now, that is a very bold move. And if China is backing him and saying, everybody let him do it, and we have been protecting Israel all this time, then
it's a setup. I mean, right. So
either way. Okay, so if he backs off and doesn't do what Israel expects him to do, there's going to be a lot of people pissed. Why aren't you protecting, the Holy Land? Why aren't you protecting, our Jewish brothers and sisters that are over there. Okay. And then there's going to be people that are going to say, that's a big one. We don't want China and also Russia coming after us and have war on our shores. What do you do? I say either way, he's screwed, and they pull him out. I think it's just all lining up. Now, we were also told a long time ago that the war will be on your screens. Within, when somebody says declare some kind of war, it really gives everybody a chance, all the minions of the past, to run around and do a bunch of dirty deeds. And people die, and people get hurt, and people see explosions, and people see, basically same thing that happened in Ukraine. Okay, so if that indeed happens, something like that's going to happen. Something close to that. And I believe that it is stopped right before it gets too hairy, but I think it's the best case scenario to pull Biden out. Because if they pull him out and he's just ill or he dies, then we have to deal with the next guy in line who's going to just enforce their evil plan. Okay. If we pull him out from impeachment, it takes too long. If we pull him out because, look at all this stuff that we found that he did, let's pull him out for that. You still have too much room to put somebody else in there. Now, if he's comes out there like the last video I saw of him was like dementia on crack.
Yeah.
Okay. He comes out and seems unable to do his job and makes the wrong decision. Now we're at war and everybody flips the hell out. I could see where the ABS would sound and they could pull him out, but still, the second in line could stand and say, okay, he's having problems. I'm going to take care of this. It is probably best for him to seem somewhat cognitive and to stand up and say, well, sorry, we're supposed to protect Israel, and so we're just going to go to war. A long time ago, also, what was a few weeks back, Jesus told us, or Michael told us, I think it was Jesus, or Michael, I can't remember. They're going to try to start a world war to stop this RV, to stop the Sara Jasara. Okay? That's what we saw then. He said, try to. I went back in and asked about Biden being removed after the fact. When he tries to start a world war, it was always tries. No, first it was Biden would be removed for trying to start a world war, and then it was when he tries to start a world war. So I think we are in the end game. I think we're coming up on it. I wouldn't freak out too much. I don't care how big they are. Nobody wants to go to war with the USA on a big scale like that. Nobody really wants to go to war with the USA. I mean, that's something that I know without knowing why. And it's pretty obvious. And yes, they are big countries, but nobody really wants that. They're trying to take care of something. I feel like it is part of Nasara Jasara. And I do think we're going to see some scary stuff, possibly have some, concerning news headlines. They're probably really going to ramp it up so that they could pull him out now.
So that brings us to Phil's live last night, which is one of the few lives I actually thought. By the way, I'm going to repeat myself in a calmer way. If you post any more anti-Jewish shit in my Telegram, it's going to be deleted and you're going to be banned forever and you're not coming back. I'm sick of this garbage about how Israel does not have a right to be on that land. They do. And in fact, the whole region would be better off if everything, Gaza, the West Bank, if it was all just Israel and there was a 20-mile boundary around it where nobody could live. All right. Phil's live yesterday was I thought pretty interesting and pretty useful
I did too.
for one of the first times in a long time. And what he said is, okay, China has moved big military assets into the region, the Middle East. That's true. Is that true that they're doing that?
Some. Yeah.
Some. Okay.
Some.
Putin will announce that he is declaring war on Israel. The key word being announce. He will not actually do it. And again, this sets up exactly the scenario you talked about 2 or 3 years ago. And it's very important. Anybody who's here from Phil or anywhere else, Jen was first with this scenario years ago. Way before Phil, way before anybody else. So say what you want, way before. China will basically be saying either quietly or out loud to the USA, if you interfere, we will slap you. Well, again, don't poke the bully, right? The evil that is hiding in Israel will be ferreted out, is being ferreted out, has been, whatever. That's also consistent with what Jen's told you. Israel is the fourth hub of the Vatican, London, USA pillars of the evil cabal. Jen, where have we heard that 4 pillars thing before?
Oh my God, that was a long time ago.
We heard that about 8 or 9 months ago, if not a year ago, right here on this show from Jennifer. She said the angels told her there are 4 pillars. We were trying to guess who the 4 pillars were. We thought Rome and London were 2 of them, and maybe the USA, maybe the Baltics. But he's saying Israel is the 4th hub of the pillars that have been holding up the cabal. So congratulations on that one again, Jen. Verified like a year later? I'd have to go back and find out exactly.
It was a while ago. There are 4 pillars that need to fall.
Mm-hmm.
Is what he said.
The hub that is and by the way, would you apologize to the angels for me being so?
Yeah, they're used to it now.
I know, but it's like, hey, when you're fighting, you feel like you want to fight, you can't hold it back. And I'm sorry if you got in the way. The hub that is the one where the politicians actually physically go to have their fun and make their evil, vile deals. That surprises me a little bit. He's saying that Israel is where they do all these depraved things. I would have thought Epstein Island, London, Bohemian Grove, Ukraine were more of those places.
It's not about what's on the surface. It's about what's under the surface of Israel.
Countless of them have dual Israeli citizenships. That's true. It's a hiding place and a playground. It's what they were building Ukraine into, let alone the biblical implications. So Phil says, don't be scared. It's biblical indeed. Don't listen to the mainstream media. I understand the Q post that says they've been saving Israel for last. It is happening. Well, I think, again, you had that same diagnosis on this show quite a while back. So welcome to the party, Phil. Nice of you to join us. I wanted to just say something. My cousin Richard Stolman from California wrote a novel in 1979 called An Overflowing Rain. And it was about a Russian attack on the state of Israel. You can tell it was a long time ago because it's $2.50. And in it, he is very Christian. And in it, Russia tries to attack, or it's all about the political machination setting up a Russian attack on Israel. And he said that in the novel, according to the Bible, the Israeli attack was stopped by an incredible rainstorm. And I'm wondering, Jen, if any of that scenario is true. Or is that, it apparently came from the Bible. I'm just guessing, wondering if there's anything that might be true about that.
A rainstorm?
Huge storm destroys the Russian army as they try to attack Israel. Are we in? If that happens, we are in biblical times. If that happens,
that's interesting, considering the references to the storm.
Yep.
That I don't know at this point in time. I'm getting a lot of pieces to the puzzle with that but I don't think they're like following the book, or I don't think that
no.
it was like a prophecy. I think it was what he thought was going to happen and then wrote it in that way as fiction. There's something we have to go back on too. Remember a long time ago, the Gentiles about Putin said that he is a very devout Christian, basically. What is his religion again? What's it called? Orthodox?
Eastern Orthodox Christian. Yeah.
Okay. He has been raised. This is like his holy mission in his whole life. He has been raised in part of a group of people that have been trying to take this element out for a long time. And this is his triumph. This is his masterpiece, really, to go in there and get those people under the surface. It's not about harming the good, God-loving people in the Holy Land. Okay, it's about taking it back and from what's underneath the surface, what's hiding in plain sight, and also under the ground. So these, if you take a look at the way this whole story is played out, we started with the fringes. We started with the Epstein Islands and the tunnels in the U.S. and, certain places. And then we ended up over at Ukraine, which was a big hub. And who knows what other hubs they've been destroying at the time. And Israel, if indeed it was the biggest, if it was, it is a holy land, but they use that just like they use the, these are upstanding people. These are, good people in royalty or the Vatican or in our government or whatever, and they use that camouflage to hide the worst offenses. Mm-hmm. And so it makes sense to me why Putin would emerge now caring about this whole deal in Israel, and they say, okay, it's your time to shine, Putin. You've been waiting for this for your entire life. And that is something that is his focus. And so I think with the alliance, they have certain world leaders that were tasked to handle certain things. Okay. Putin's used to be in the bad guy, so he's got to be the one who's really kind of in charge of the military and the operations to take out these bad players. Now, the United States has always been looked at as the savior of the world, right? And then they money laundered under that camouflage. But Donald Trump is the negotiator. He's the one who was in charge of negotiating the financial part of this. Yeah. Now, so we've got several scenarios running at the same time, and some of them allowed to run storylines. They always wanted to start. What did they do when the economy was bad and everything? They had a World War I, they had a World War II, and now they're going to do World War III, and they're going to try and use that. The cabal thinks they can pull that off and use that to save the financial situation somehow. Okay? The White Hats are like, and the Alliance is like, well, we've already got it all figured out. We're going to go ahead and let whatever remaining people you have think that you can do that. But that's not really what's happening. It's kind of like the White Hats know that, okay, now it's time for Xi and Putin to team up to get this part of it handled. Because if we don't get this part of it handled, they're just going to emerge and they're going to sabotage all the good stuff that we're trying to do anyway. So there's no way you can win until you take them out. Okay. I feel like at this point in time, whatever that bad thing was taken out, but then you got to run around and get the rest of the minions. What do you need to do? What do you need for that? You need cover. Because if most of the war has been fight underground and behind the scenes, and they flee and come up to the surface, what's your excuse for taking them out now? Okay, we're in the middle of a war. You're going to see things happening. You're going to see helicopters. You're going to see bombs. You're going to see this and that. You're going to see people rounded up. You'll see military in the streets. And so Putin and Xi are making a big enough stink and a big enough showing so that they can do that. And then, okay, so what are we going to accomplish with this as well? Okay, so let's make it a big enough problem to take the United States president out, because he is can't make
He is an issue.
good decisions. Yeah, he's an issue. We got to get him out, because if one of the pillars is the United States, it's awfully interesting that this war scenario would take that out as well, and most of the rulers. And so what do we do when that happens? Okay, we're in a state of war. Let's have the military.
Therefore, the military is
okay,
justified.
well, we got no
Right, the military is
That's correct.
justified in taking some control. Right.
And it's like, oh, look at that. Oh, that's right. The financial situation just crashed and all this stuff. What are we going to do about that? Grassie's like, well, this is what we're going to do. And I see Grassley at the podium, and he announces Nasara Jassara, and we're rolling. Okay. Where the RV fits in, I have no idea at this point in time. I was told it was at the end of the month or into next month. Now, that guy was talking about some October 31st. This expires and that, and I don't really think that's true, but somebody always comes out with that kind of intel to keep people busy looking at dates while stuff is happening. So do you think maybe if he does have a legitimate military contact that he could have received misinformation?
The lie in government, the lie is different at every level.
Exactly.
Okay. And I hate to use that quote,
absolutely true,
because that's from Wayne Williott, also known as Juan O'Savin, for the book Dark Mission, but it's true. The lie is different at every level.
Yeah.
So,
do I think we're going to have bombs dropping over here or whatever? No, I think what we're going to see is an excuse to have a military presence in the streets. I think the remaining minions have been flooding our borders that are paid by different levels of cabal assets are going to come out to the streets and probably make fuss, and that'll quickly be extinguished. There we go. Now we've led to, okay, all hell's breaking loose. Let's cue the EBS and tell the people what's going on.
Yeah. And again, the United States is the economic engine of the world. Still, even when it's not operating very well, like it's not right now, when it's especially when it's purring like a kitten, when Reagan or Trump is in office, we make everything go around the world, and it would be foolish to damage or destroy that. It really would, because the whole world would suffer, including the people that would be doing the damaging and the destruction. Some of them may not care, but for smart leaders like Xi and Putin, it would be foolish to damage the world's economic machine, to sabotage it. So a widespread destruction in the U.S. does not make a lot of sense. I have to agree. Are you done with that point? Did you have more?
I was just looking at what Christine Packer said, because she documents everything I say. I'm going to have to get those notes from you someday, Christine. Yeah. She says, in 2021, Gentel said that there were 3 different ways this could go. And I saw a trident.
No, but you also talked about 4 pillars. I
did. That was a different thing, but I saw a trident. What does trident mean to me? Well, trident means, I think of the sea. I think of...
It's a weapon of the sea. Yeah, it's a 3-pronged spear.
Could that be 3 countries fighting in the sea?
Yeah. China, Russia, and the United States, maybe? Maybe.
It's funny because I do think this whole scenario is leading us up to our end game and positive results, okay? Everything that we wanted. It's going to look bad. I mean, even in the Q post, what did it say? The end was not for everyone?
Yeah.
It's going to look bad
for everyone.
But we were also told, and we were given the hope that, hey, don't freak out. This is going to be on your screens. Yes, we're going to see some minion behavior. We're going to have to be aware of our surroundings. We are going to have military around. People that live in places like Israel and Ukraine are going to see more of that. But I do think that an end result is going to be a win.
Well, I believe with Trump, it will be greatest triumph ever, I believe, is what the angels said.
They did. That was That's old Gentel. That was
that's like original Gentel.
I asked. What did I ask? I asked.
Will Trump ultimately be returned to be back in the presidency, and will the election fraud be exposed? Something like that.
Yeah, I think I asked how will Trump fare through all of this backlash and everything that's coming down upon him, and what I heard was greatest triumph ever. Now, the greatest triumph ever, I mean, I would say it would be Jesus rising from the dead in my book, but you know how faith-based I am.
We'll see if the big J wants to go.
That's going to have to be big.
Yeah.
That's going to have to be big if it's the greatest triumph ever. And the only thing I can see with the greatest triumph ever is changing the entire financial system to gold.
Right. It could also
bringing about world peace and getting himself back in the office.
Yeah. It could mean the greatest political triumph ever, Jen. It could, in other words, it doesn't have to be bigger than Jesus.
No, I'm not saying it. You can't be bigger than Jesus. No. But
Big J. The Jesus Raider. Jesus Roast.
That's gonna be cool. I'm positive. I feel positive about it. We're gonna have to stay on our feet though. We're gonna have to stay smart through this. And don't get pulled in by all the stories and everybody, and every quote redneck that wants to come out here. And I know a guy who knows a guy whose brother's in the military. Well, so do I.
Yeah. Okay,
but they don't have any kind of level clearance to tell us anything good. They're sitting around in the barracks talking about stuff. All right. Let's stay smart and on our toes about the intel that we choose to follow.
Another thing I want to point out too is that when the financial thing happens, which hopefully is this week, we don't know, but when it happens, and let's say you get a lot of money, you take care of yourself first, and your family and your friends second. Everybody else, your community third. Everybody else comes after that. But remember, having a lot of money also gives you a responsibility, right? If after you've taken care of yourself, and taking care of you can be very indulgent in how you take care of yourself. That's fine. Because after you do, if you want to buy a Ferrari, go ahead and buy it, right? Because then you can give with a fuller heart when the time comes to give. The other point is that you have responsibility. So if we are damaged as a country, as a world, as a people by this transition, then the fact that you have a lot of resources means that you have a greater responsibility to do something with those. And that doesn't mean give it away to people in need. That could also mean start a business, do something you love. If you love flowers, open a flower shop, hire a couple people, give them health insurance. So keep that in mind. When the transition happens, if you end up with a lot, that just means you have more responsibility than other people. But take care of yourself first. Okay, Jen, are you getting anything?
Yeah. Hang on. Sorry, I was listening, but no, actually I wasn't. I zoned out and I was asking when the RV is coming. Or how's this going to happen? How's this going to happen? He said in the dark of night. And he said that before. And Christine, if you remember, I don't know, you're like the best secretary ever. I don't know if you have some kind of computer program to go back and search that. He told us that before, that this RV would happen in the dark of night. Not at night, but like when no one's expecting it, when something else is happening. So
how about World War III?
Yeah, that'd be a nice cover.
It's a nice distraction.
Yeah, it is a nice distraction. Everybody's looking over there. Everybody's, oh my God, everybody's scared. They're all staying indoors. And we're just like, tra-la-la, I'm going to go off to the redemption center. Well, I'm going to go pick up supplies, And
I'm just going to Costco to buy some rice. I'll be back in an hour and a half. Whoa, what happened to the rice? Oh,
Let's see that. Let's let's do
I
that because
got
I'm tired of
sidetracked
asking the when is it coming questions. You
Yeah.
know,
We're
it's
gonna get a
always
lot of those
best. We always gonna get your best information. If you ask me and the angels, how is this going to happen? Because that makes sense. And if you've noticed, the way that they give you the story is in puzzle pieces. So it's kind of interesting. It's actually a really good story. And the Gentel has provided so many puzzle pieces. Now he says start putting all this together.
Yeah, that's my point. Similar to the oxygen mask, Glenn. Take care of yourself first, then put the oxygen mask on your child, and then worry about somebody else. But like I said, if you have resources, you have a responsibility to do something with them. Okay, put them into motion.
I'm such a pain in the ass on the plane. I always, every time they tell me that, I'm like, I'll put it on the kids first, and then I'll hold my breath and I'll put it. I always do that.
No, the kids are
like, yeah, right. I'm putting it on the kids first.
All right. Yes. By the way, it is a Manchester City Wednesday. We're playing Young Boys in the UEFA Champions League. Young Boys. Okay, that sounds like a bad U2 album cover to me. I will, however, note that Manchester United, our crosstown rivals, lost to Young Boys last year in the Europa League. So, the hell are Young Boys? All right. One other thing, Jen, you're beaming in on something?
No, I'm just watching chat. What?
Okay. One other thing, Jen, that came up is the 11th Circuit accepted an emergency writ to hear a case from Florida to invalidate the fraudulent 2020 and 2022 elections. And Clarence Thomas is the judge who is set to rule. Now, the interesting thing about this is that Thomas can accept this to the entire Supreme Court for review, or he could rule on it himself. So this is an interesting concept that I want to talk about. And I want to go back again to this issue, which is, okay, there's a couple points here that I think are valid and interesting. One is, what did Phil say in his live yesterday? He said there's only 10 members of Congress, Senate and the House, left. Everybody else is arrested. Oh, we didn't ask about that. Or that's what
he said that because I didn't hear him.
No, the PPN guy said that. The PPN guy said that. Is that true? Is it true that there's only a few? Okay. Are there any senators or congressmen that have been removed?
Yeah, but what's they still show up for the day when needed, but they're all monitored and told what to do.
Right. Okay. So, all right. So then the next question is, what about the Supreme Court? Are they, any of them, under arrest?
All right. Let's see how this whole election thing plays out because a long time.
Wait.
No. I'm going to put it together for you right now. You want to?
I just want to ask the question because it'll.
Okay, ask the question. I'm going to forget what I was going to do.
Sorry. Thomas can rule on this on his own. Is he going to do that?
It's all been done.
It's all been done. Okay, cool. All right.
Okay.
And then
listen.
But somebody else
Shut up and let me get it out before I forget it, because this is good. All right. Listen. If you don't let me say what they tell me, it fades like a dream, and I forget. And you're talking to me. I can't write it down. Here we go. So this is how it's going to go. The Supreme Court's already done that. Excuse me. We got Gentel a long time ago, right after the 2020 election, and I asked Gabriel, when will we know the true results of the 2020 election? And he said 5 years. Okay, and then I asked God, when will we see these states flip? And he gave me a lineup of what states flip and it goes first. So what was it? It was Wisconsin,
Right.
Pennsylvania,
Michigan.
Arizona, Michigan, and then Georgia. And the rest of it snowballs. Okay. So the reveal, we don't get him out. We don't just put Trump back in, because the Supreme Court finally wakes up and says, oh, that's right. Yeah, it was all fraudulent. Let's just put him back in now. What we'll find out after the fact, after he's removed and the military takes over and they replace, we have the new elections and we get on with Nasara Jasara and everything starts rolling. That is when we start going through all the wrongs of the past and cleaning every area of our life up. That is when the reveal will come about the elections. It'll probably be some kind of scenario. Okay, yeah, we're going over what really happened and these are the true results. The military did it or whatever. And then we'll get the reveal. Okay, but it's all that's been taken care of and is in the past. So anything we hear on that is basically foreshadowing for what will come and be revealed, and the public will know about what really happened after the fact when we're already in a good place. And that's how it's going to go down.
Okay, so one small point on this, which I wanted to point out to you, which is somebody in my chat said, well, this only applies to the state of Florida, which Trump already won, by the way. So it doesn't change the outcome of the election.
Right.
And I'm here to remind you that this is wrong because of the ruling by the Supreme Court. Fraud vitiates everything. So if one state is found to have been fraudulent in their results, the entire election is thrown out. The entire election is thrown out.
So, and that's where you see all the states go through and reveal the true results one by one, and we see it as a flip. Oh yeah, look, Wisconsin. Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be a legal ruling of one of the states that they actually stole. It could be one of our states, a state that we won, a state that we control. But if they find there was substantial, massive fraud in that state, then Thomas can rule on his own 2020 voter election results were fraudulent, even if they would still have resulted in Donald Trump winning the state. And then that vitiates or overturns the entire 2020 election, which triggers Jen's scenario. Boom.
People in chat are talking about a sonic boom.
Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, Rick, I was going to do some 9/11 stuff, but I'm going to skip the 9/11 stuff. I just wanted to talk about a Telegram post about 9/11. There were airplane parts found all over the World Trade Center area, everywhere. So please don't post any more stupid shit like that on my Telegram either. All right, Jen, there are, let's see. How many people there are? I'm trying to figure out the number. Oh, we got about 700 again in the live stream, and unlike Phil, we don't have to make up our numbers. We do not have 3 million people watching. We do not have 20 million people watching. No, we do not. Thank you for those that are watching. Don't forget that these videos get taken down almost immediately. These live streams off of the YouTube channels almost as soon as they're complete, except for Mike Barrett 2, because I forgot how to log into Mike Barrett 2. But you can always get them over on mikebarrett.blogspot.com, where you will see all of the latest and greatest videos and information that I post there. Sometimes I'll post articles, sometimes I'll post other people's videos. You can pick up all my books there, and or you can go directly to the Rumble channel, where you can sign in, give us a Rumble rant if you want, or sign up for the Little Red Castle and get a $5 a month subscription to the channel. So you can go directly to the Rumble channel. And Between those two places, you'll be able to always find the show if it's not on YouTube. Jennifer, it occurs to me that I've forgotten to do two things, which is to put up your site and the CBD Gurus. So don't forget, you can also go to the cbdgurus.com and pick up all kinds of terrific products for your health. Go to the wholesale tab, slide down to Mike B Wholesale, type in the discount code ALIEN, Alien, and you can pick up this week's specials. And you get 2 million Bolivar for every order over $25 and 8 million for every order over $100. And you can pick up all kinds of cool stuff, including the Mark Z Mike B lounge pants with our faces on them. Those are ladies' pajamas, basically. You can pick those suckers up, or you can also go to let me go back. Pick up, there's brand new ones. Oh, there's Halloween ladies' pajama pants with all kinds of Peanuts guys on them. So pick those up and go to the wholesale tab and get all of the cool specials this week. I really recommend the X-Freeze roll-on pain gel and the Lotion 2000 skin lotion, lion's mane, pet treats, all kinds of cool stuff. Jen, why don't you tell us what's going on over at jenniferfalah.com?
Okay, so we've got the healing sale going on. This is the everything healing for people or pets. This is a cleanse. This is a DNA correction. This is a toxin cleanse. This is a full body healing. It's a super duper one, and it's only $49 right now. You can buy multiple ones. Use the love button. You will receive gift cards if you would like to just hold on to. You know, this is the lowest price that I can really do at this point in time. Someday it'll probably all be free, you know, after the RV. And but go in there, get that. That's going to be on for a few more days. Christmas is coming. You can get gift cards to hand out to people. Oh, and we've also got this rapid fire reading sale, which is fun, about any questions that you would have about anything, weird experiences you've had, dream interpretation, you know, remote viewing session on the phone. Hey, can you go and look at this castle in England for me? Stuff like that. Or the house I grew up in, can you go and look and see if it was really haunted? That's fun stuff. Or any questions about your life or anything. It's 30-minute, as many questions you can fit. And that is on sale right now. It looks like $69 I had up there.
It is?
Mm-hmm. And, you know, people always tell me, hey, why don't you raise your prices and you won't have to work as hard? And the thing is that, you know what? People can't afford that.
Yeah.
And I never liked it when, it was a long time ago when I had babies, okay? And I wanted to go to Sylvia Brown. It was like $750. I couldn't afford that. I had babies, you know? And so I didn't get to. And then it stuck with me a long time ago. It's like, well, you know what? If anybody needs help, it's not somebody who can just throw down $750 for an hour. It's somebody like me who doesn't know where the hell I'm going and what's going to happen in my life, and I can't get the help that I need, you know? So that's why I keep it affordable. Someday when I don't have to charge, it won't. So, but I put things on sale all the time when I see things slowing down, for one, for me personally, but also because people can't afford that right now.
You should always charge something, Jen. Just make everything $25. And then give that money to some good cause. Old Dog Haven or something. You can do that too.
Well, after the RV, what I'll do, if people sometimes people don't like you to give them something for free.
Yeah.
They want to pay. And so there'll be nothing but donations buttons. But right now, when I need to make a living and I've got everybody and their mother living with me, I need to charge. Right. And so get on in there before that sale ends if you really need those. If you want to do something, you know, if you got a pet or a person that you want to do multiple healings on every couple weeks to keep up on it. The talk with the soul healing, we got some interesting information back that there was a lady, this has been a cool experience. It's almost like hypnosis or the power of suggestion. So we do the full healing and the cleanse and everything else, but then we talk to the soul. I talk to the soul and I tell them, you know, it's time to stop drinking. You don't like to drink anymore or whatever. And I guess this woman has been doing really well with her sobriety.
Good.
after that. So that's something you want to keep up on maybe every couple weeks with somebody like that. No promises. Free will always will eventually seep back in. But if it's something that a person really wants for themselves and they just need a boost, it helps a lot. So get on over to jenniferfallah.com and get those sales before they end.
Okay, that is what is going on over at jenniferfallah.com. Jen, it's almost 11. Do we have time for questions today?
Yeah, let's take some questions.
All right, so let's slide back on over to the Rumble side. And see these people with these little red castles on there? We're looking at them, right? Yeah.
Thank you guys for that.
Okay, don't know what happened. I'll go blank.
We did get our first payment from that, and it was small,
small,
but it was kind of cool. It was like, what's that? Oh wow, yeah, the red castles.
It's like
it was nice.
It was nice. It was okay. So I'm having all kinds of problems here. Let me undo the screen share here. Stop sharing. Okay, we're going to stop. And then we're going to reshare Rumble channel. Which is, wow, Jen. Somebody doesn't want me to go over to the questions. Wow, I can't see it. Okay, so I'll tell you what, we're not going to share. I'm just going to read the questions, but okay, so Little Red Castle, $5 a month subscription. We really appreciate that. It's an ongoing thing. If everybody went over there and opened a Rumble account and gave us $5 a month, life would be good. Okay, Magna Mike is here. Sin M. Let's see if we've got any questions. Lori Bakemeyer's here. Thank you. Are you seeing PPN? Yeah, you guys did see the PPN.
Yeah,
okay.
We saw that.
Okay, Lori says, Lori Bakemeyer, just asking for prayers for Cliff today at his first appointment with the endocrinologist. Jesus, I trust in you. Yes, let's give some good wishes to that. Vonna Curry's here. Lori Betty's here. Tamara Pepper. What do you think of the new candidate for speaker, Mike Johnson? Is he a good choice? I believe he's been elected this morning. Mike Johnson, Jen. On this guy Johnson. I want Jim Jordan, but that's just me.
This is good. I don't know why, but this is good. What's his background?
I don't know anything about it.
Is he military?
I don't know. He's fairly conservative. I know that.
Yeah, there's a big military vibe with that situation. This is good.
Does the 4 pillars have anything to do with 4 bullets? Not as far as I know.
Oh yeah, we had the 4 bullets too.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Kim says my daughter's boyfriend Brock's grandmother, whose name is Sonia, had a stroke recently. Will she recover well, or will she need a long therapy? Okay, so will Sonia, who had a stroke, recover well, or will she need a long therapy?
She's going to have some kind of therapy, possible speech therapy and movement therapy. It is going to kind of be a long.
So we can get her into a med bed anyway.
She does make a lot of progress, though, so there is hope. It's just going to have to there's something about the speech and movement of one arm takes quite a while.
Mike wants to know, Jen, do you see any major events happening on October 28th, which is also a lunar eclipse?
Worldwide, you guys got to be more specific. I take a look at the entire world and every person in it.
Yeah, that's this weekend.
Any major events on the 28th? It's but a worldwide something about announcements and treaties.
Gloria says, my niece Claudia has an eye that dropped and is crooked due to type 1 diabetes. Will it heal and go back to normal? It happened 8 months ago.
He says it's going to heal, but you're always going to kind of see it.
Okay. Okay, 528 hertz, Little Red Castle. I need your. We say this every week, every time. We need your real name, okay, so we can connect. But let's try it anyway. 528 hertz, Little Red Castle, Little Gray Whale. When will my 2 professional opportunities be presented to me? Oh, Tim. Sorry, this is Tim, not AOC or a Secret Spice Girl. Okay, Tim. Tim wants to know when his 2 professional opportunities will be presented to him.
You're going to have 2 professional opportunities. Okay.
Yeah, I think that was from last week.
Oh, that's right. One in the fall, one in March.
Okay. Tim also just signed up for the $69 reading, Jen. So good for you, Tim. Or Tammy, and do you see Melinda taking over any business? Tammy, if her daughter Melinda is going to take over her business, or will she sell it to somebody else?
She'll sell.
Sell. Annette wants to know, she's traveling to Illinois on Thursday for a week. Any travel hiccups?
Nothing other than weather. Nothing major.
Okay. Mike Johnson is a constitutional lawyer. Thank you. Yaya Chick. Rusty Durbin. $1. $1 Little Gray Whale. Thank you for the Rumble rant. You guys are the greatest, he says. We think you're pretty great too. David Murtos. Jen, Trump mentioned in his speech he's turning off the lights on Halloween. Will anything happen on October 31st? Well, yeah, I'm going to be down on the strip.
I want to know the context. I want to know the before and after of that comment. Does anybody else?
Yeah, no, we don't know.
I'm turning off the lights then.
Yeah, okay.
What,
all right.
Show me the clip. I want to tune into the clip before I.
Okay, sliding over to the YouTube side of things. Hi, Jen. This is Denise. Jen, will my son Nick has a workman's comp? He has a workman's comp case coming to a hearing November 1st. Will he win? It concerns an injury with his ankle. He needs surgery, but they don't want to pay.
He wins.
Good. Jenny. Hi, Mike and Jen. Do you see any financial relief coming my way from current or new clients soon? It's been an almost comically challenging fall. Thank you for all.
Yes, it has. Jenny.
I think it's Jenny.
You're going to see a pickup next week.
Nancy, I remember Jen tell Biden will be removed for trying to start a war. Yep. She was the first that said that.
And when I said it, it sounded totally ridiculous, didn't it?
Yeah. And let's remember when that happens, let's remember she was the only one saying that 2 years ago, year and a half ago, whenever it was, she was the first that told you that's the way it's going to go down. So when that happens, she is going to be validated to the stars, and I'm never, ever going to listen to anybody. I'm not going to allow any criticism from anybody ever again. Girl, Jen. Because it is going to happen. I had something fly very fast over my house the other night. It had a high-pitched sound, almost like a remote control car, and had a green flashing light. David Wade wants to know what you think it was.
Really? That's curious. Show me. There's some kind of transport. It was definitely human beings in there. Okay, definitely human beings in there.
I was going to ask that.
But that is interesting. I think email me about that. I'll have to take a minute to go and watch. Okay.
DeVito.
But definitely human beings in there. Something that we don't normally see happening. It's not like a spaceship or something, but it almost looks like a bus that's flying. It's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. Solar Lotus on Monday. Solar Lotus on Monday. Trump said in response to a question about Congress, "There's only one person that could do it all the way. Jesus Christ." Yeah. Christine Packer, Mike Johnson's become Speaker of the House. Yeah, we just talked about that. Sculpture Girl. Jen, you were spot on about my friend getting my car out of impound for me. Yes, Mike, my friend will be rewarded in a big way. Remember, I said, give him a kiss, give him something. He's probably one of your, most girls have, guys hanging around. All right. Sonic Boom just rattled my town. Sonic the Boomhog? Yeah, maybe not.
Again? Okay. All right.
No, that was the earlier.
What's going on with the Sonic Booms right now? Is that just the one, or are we hearing them all over?
If military aircraft are flying over civilian populated areas, there will be Sonic Booms.
Okay.
Multiple aircraft carriers from the U.S. currently near Israel. Yeah, where they're sitting ducks for hypersonic missiles. Greatest triumph includes good defeating evil, probably. Okay, Mary Gold, Jen. Do you still see my family trip to Arizona November 2nd through the 8th going as planned?
Yes, there may be a little bit delay, but yeah. Some delays along the way, but yeah.
Layla wants to know, Jen, was the Samoan woman I met last night insane or mystic? Her name was Therese. She kept telling me I'm a chosen one. It was wild. Was she insane or mystic?
I just stay away from her. Okay, there's something about it doesn't really feel like witchcraft. It actually feels almost like voodoo. Okay, that she has been messing around with, or she kind of like infected herself with bad guys. All right, anybody comes up to you out of the blue and starts, against your will, telling you personal things about yourself and trying to get your ego, that she's trying to spark your ego so that you will listen to her. Where's attachment? All right.
Okay. Lisa Western, Jen, is my upcoming trip to New York going to be in my best interest? I have family and a friend asking me to go.
Lisa. I don't think you go.
Okay. Nico Lockey, hey Jen, SAG is back at it negotiating with the producers this week. Are they making any headway ending the stupid strike? That's the Screen Actors Guild, or the Film Actors Guild, as it was portrayed in the movie Team America: World Police. FAG.
No.
Film Actors Guild.
They're not going to end a stupid strike. It's some kind of cover, because I don't know why. It's to buy time.
Jeff Price. Hi, Mike and Jen. Oh, do you see who came and got my mom, Donna Price, when she passed? Does she have a message for me or the family? Thank you all for love and support.
Okay, Michael.
Donna Price. Who came and got her?
There was a lifelong friend that she has that she probably lost touch with, but it's either a cousin or a very close female friend was there. And when she saw her, she was like, oh my God, she was so excited. And so they got up and she goes, I want to show you something. And just kind of let her off. And then after a while, she kind of just remembered, kind of came out of the fog, and she understood what was going on. Is there a message? I know what you did for me. I know how you've handled things. I know what you did for me. And I'm appreciative. Anything more personal, we'll have to get. I'm pulling back because it's kind of emotional right now, but we could get into that privately after a while. Just let her settle and adjust, acclimate to the other side.
Marie Roberts says, "Good morning. I broke my left wrist badly about 6 weeks ago. Do you see me recovering my strength and mobility?" I guess she means fully recovering her strength and mobility.
Yes, but it's always going to be like if you're picking up grocery bags at kind of like at this angle, you're just going to have to be careful with that or you'll re-injure it. Okay. So it's always going to be kind of a weak spot for you. Might want to wear like if you're going to be doing things like that during the day, lifting things, or, might want to wear a little brace on it. And really going to want to work on the arm muscles in the forearms as well, just to support that. So you don't put too much strain on it.
Okay. Jen, this reminds me of a redhead joke I just recently heard. This beautiful redhead goes into the doctor. She says, "Doctor, I don't know what's wrong with me. Everywhere on my body hurts." And he says, "Well, show me. What are you talking about?" So she touches her forehead and she goes, "Oh, God, that's horrible." She touches her shoulder. "Oh, God, that's horrible." She touches her boob. "Oh, my God, that's horrible." And then he touches her leg and she goes, "Oh, God, I can't stand it." She goes, "What's wrong with me?" And he goes, "Well, are you a natural redhead?" And she goes, "No, I'm actually a blonde. I dye my hair." And he goes, "Oh, okay, you have a broken finger." I thought it was great. Okay.
You're such a pain in the ass.
Joanne.
Because it's the blonde jokes. Now we're getting the blonde. You think I haven't heard like every blonde joke there is?
I hadn't heard that one. It was red. Starts out.
That's a good joke. Yeah, that's funny.
Hi, Jen. Can you ask what we will see for the rest of this week?
What we will see for the rest of this week?
Yeah, like in the news. Give us is there anything, maybe one thing you could pull out that we'll see in the news this week that might be, not on our radar?
Does conjunction mean anything?
Might be astronomical conjunction. Yeah, eclipse conjunction, October 28th, Saturday. Guy just said it. Yeah.
I'm usually in meditation when I do the week ahead stuff, but
Yeah. Well,
I heard that. I'm not seeing much for this week, actually. There's just a lot of stories in the news ramping up this war scenario. There is something on the financial front coming Friday. And in this setting with this focus, that's all I really see right
now. Rick Norman says, "Yeah, this is the biggest boom I ever heard." I remember one time, late 90s, at my Uncle John's house in Palm Springs, and heard the biggest sonic Palm Springs, where there's not really any military, biggest sonic boom I've ever heard, rattled the windows. I mean, it was big. And
9 Palms.
Christine Packard, Jen, do I have an evil attachment?
No, you're exhausted. You're just losing your temper. You're exhausted.
Okay, thank you, Jen. Crap balls. Yes, you missed. Jen, my daughter's surgery went as great. This is Nanette. As you said it would. Will my husband and I be able to purchase the house we want?
Nanette. You will purchase a house very soon. I'm not sure if it's the one you want, but I'm sure if you purchase it, you want it.
You'll want it. Jen, my husband Terry's having stomach problems. Can you look and see what's going on? You do need a deeper medical reading for that, or go to a doctor. But
Jesus, hang on. Sue, divorce, husband. I would go in. There is something on the side of the wall of the stomach. I'm not sure if it's an ulcer. It does actually look like a little inflamed part. I don't think it's cancer. It's not a dark color. It's not green. It doesn't look like an infection, but I think we got something going on in there. And the esophagus is also swollen and red. He needs to be seen about it. I mean, the problem here is that the esophagus looks very swollen. And then we've got something on the side of the stomach wall, and yeah, you need to go figure that out.
Zelda wants to know, was it a planet that caused the eclipse and not the moon? The recent eclipse. Interesting question.
No.
No, it's the moon. Power Trio Mike, yes, on Friday. Planning that. Yep. Yeah, I forgot about 29 Palms. It's right outside of Palm Springs. Well, it's not right outside. It's actually a ways away, but that was one big sign. I'm watching the beginning of Mike's rant on the fat rednecks is epic. Well, how about the inbreds? The guy with the eyes that are like this close together.
Stop it.
I'm just sick of this anti.
Stop it.
Mike, can you put $10 on Red 22 for me? I will do that the next time I'm in a casino, which may be Thursday. Maybe if I feel good enough, I'm going to go out on Thursday. Well, I'm definitely having dinner with Susan Galliano and her boyfriend, Jim. She's the stepdaughter of Dr. Bob Wood, one of the founders of UFO investigations. Back in the 1960s, he hired Stanton Friedman, brilliant guy. And she's his stepdaughter. So we're going to go out. And then I think I'm going to go hit a karaoke bar afterwards. That's kind of the plan.
Shut up. Do you go sing karaoke?
I don't sing. No, I'm a terrible singer. But I may go there, and I'm trying to get some of the Wi-Files guys to join me there.
When we have our Vegas thing, you'll have to take my brother out to a nice karaoke place.
Well, I'm going to try to find this place. Is called the Cat's Meow, and I'm happy to know it's a karaoke bar and not something else. So, okay, any other questions over on the right-hand side? Laura Lebo. Laura, where do I belong? Where am I now? Or somewhere else? Okay, I can't understand those questions, so we're just going to leave those there. I guess that's going to wrap the show up. I will be back on Friday. I'm planning on Friday night to be here for the Friday Night Power Trio with Brooks and Blake, where we do all the conventional news stuff, and I get to rant a little bit more. And I'm sorry about that. I did not expect to have that kind of an emotional reaction to this bullshit, but I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the 9/11 stuff. Planes hit the buildings. Grow up. Wake up. It's the way it is. That's life. Sometimes we're right, sometimes we're wrong. Except me, I'm wrong. I'm right all the time. Go Manchester City, go Seahawks, go Diamondbacks. Do not allow the Rangers to win the World Series. Jen, any final thoughts before we head out for the rest of the week? You look glowingly lovely right now.
Well, thank you.
Like you're bemused at me or something like that. There he goes again.
I know exactly how you are, and I love you anyway.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
I don't really have any. Just keep your eyes open. There's going to be a lot of misinformation. There's going to be whirlwind coming. I say we just kind of sit back with our coffee and watch it play out. Okay, everything is happening. The RV is still happening. We're going to do it behind, when everybody's busy, worried about everything else. And
all right. Well, I'm ready to be worried. I'm ready to be worried then. I have my eye on a $12.75 million 2-story condo up the street there. So with a beautiful view of the strip. So that's where I'm going. All right, guys, that'll do it. We'll be back again. I'll be back on Friday. Jen and I will be back on Monday, unless there is big breaking news, in which case you might see us pop in and try to give you some updates. I mean, if World War III starts, Jen, I have a feeling we might go live just to talk about what you're getting on it if World War III starts this week, right? No? Yeah? No?
Sure.
No commitments?
Unless it's like Saturday. But,
Then, yeah, because Saturday's Jen's day drinking.
It's my day off.
She day drinks on the lake on Saturday. So
like, hey, oh yeah, you just like crawled through that whole week, and it's Saturday, and you get to relax. You don't have
maybe
to
you better
go live.
You should go. You should be sober on Saturday because it's the 28th when all those alignments and conjunctions.
Sober, yeah. Let me pencil that in to be sober. I'm always sober.
All right. All right, love you guys. I'll see you Friday. Jen and I will see you Monday. Let's hope there's a lot more stuff to talk about.